didn't know, that's where Miss Coimbra is where Miss Mark studied. And Amalia is one of our most famous father singers. What, Terry? I'm sorry?
Divas.
Yes, our famous divas. So now you've been exposed to what Mrs. Marks has enjoyed in her life before she came to us. So we wanted to share a little bit of that with you. At this time, I wanted to call up Miss Elaine and Miss Desiree and Miss Marks. And thank you for the video, Miss DePizio.
Can you go take pictures?
We want to thank you for your 26 years in the Boston Public Schools. I'm sure you have some words you'd love to say to them. I know she's so...
She doesn't want to say anything. She told me she's going to say thank you.
Anyone who knows me, I'm very shy and I hate public stuff, but I can't live without telling you how much I appreciated everything, all the effort you put in putting together this presentation. And first of all, I would like to say that I was blessed to find Mr. Ippolito when I came to James Orders. He was the one who hired me, and I always saw him like a father figure for me. He opened all the way for me to be in the place where I am now, and thanks to him, I can be here today. Without him, I wouldn't make it for sure. And also, I'd like to thank all my friends and colleagues who, one way or the other, helped me during these past 26 years. And you know that I will treasure you all, and I'll never forget who helps me. So, thank you very much for everything.
It's John Travolta.
No, I can't tell. This is surprising.
So for a second, I thought that was what they were giving her. I was like, why? Why?
She did a rap. She did a lot of work. She did all these.
Steal this. Just rip it. Somebody get that man a knife.
We have to call Mr. Rolfo and get a hammer and scissors up here.
It's good with killing the dead end. Oh man, did you just take a candy?
Yeah.
Damn it, Chris.
What?
With my mouth
Chris
open, I'm
just
like,
took a candy. Me too. I like turned right in and was like,
Of us?
yeah.
Oh, good. I'm wiping the sweat off my face.
since when does Chris take candies?
What is it? What is it?
Another round.
Box.
The whole thing was so beautiful. She's going to show you.
Chris, will you stop with the candies?
Look that.
Oh, shit, look at
It's the marks.
Emblem? Crest?
The crest, the family crest.
It says the ancient history of the distinguished surname Marx. And it has the shield over there and coat of armor, and it's a certificate of authenticity. So let's have a nice round of applause. So before we conclude, we'd like to just have If anybody would like to come up and just say a couple of words about Mrs. Marks, you can come up now. We have an open mic. If anyone would like to come up, feel free, and unless you're too shy.
Terry wants to say something.
Terry, Mrs. Medeiros, come on up. Just keep Mr. O'Dwyer away.
That's the perfect music.
I know.
That is the perfect.
Okay, so when Miss Marks came, Mr. Polito was there, and Mr. Polito said, "You're gonna go to this room, and there's gonna be a teacher, and you're gonna help her out." And I'm like, okay. So I went there and met Miss Marks, and I truly can tell you, I have so much respect for her, so much. First of all, I do know Coimbra. I know what it takes to get there. I know what it means to come from there. I've met throughout life people who have said, she was my teacher, including people at UMass that are prominent and well-known. Ms. Marks, I'm not a speaker, but I truly do respect you to the utmost. And thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Tapali, would you like to come up and say a couple of words? Anybody else? Feel free. And let's not forget, Kathy and Karen, just two beautiful daughters that she is so proud of. They've both gone on to high school, college, and set a great role model. And Mrs. Marks did a tremendous job bringing both girls up. Let's have a round of applause. Kathy and Karen. But I do have a story about Kathy. I was in room 19, far right-hand corner of the building. If you remember, I think Mr. B's there right now. In its first quarter, we had four quarters at that time, and we actually had A, B, C, D, F, not 1, 2, 3, 4. And Kathy, I gave her a C in social studies. Remember that, Mrs. Marks? I'm saying, do I do this? Mrs. Marks and our staff, we're great friends. You know what? I'm going to make her work. So I gave her a C. And Mrs. Marks came out and just noticed. And I showed all the test scores and this and that. And then Kathy worked really, really hard. And she worked herself all the way up to the honor roll. And both girls have done very, very well. In addition to that, myself personally, I have the greatest respect for Mrs. Marks. She's like, I think Terry said it all, and Mrs. Fazzolari, I can't follow that up, but she has been such a great colleague. She's never said anything bad about anybody. She just did her job day in and day out. And, I just have the deepest respect for her, and she's been such a great friend. I mean, I'm going to miss going in there and see her in the morning, every single morning, and I would like kid around with her. I'd say a few words I knew about, like I taught over at Madison Park High School, and a little bit of Creole, like taught Cachupa, and I would say, Como busta, Stabo, Ibo, Alile Talay, Alita Rola, and we just have some fun, and I'm going to really miss Mrs. Marks. It's really, I think she just is the standard bearer for a teacher. And Otis is a very unique place because we have people from all kinds of backgrounds, and we were very fortunate when Mr. Polito was there. Then Mr. Conley took over as principal. Most of the staff, including Mrs. Gonzalez, was bilingual, so they had a little bit of natural affinity towards bilingual students, and we just really, it was just a tremendous environment that we've had, and we were there with Mr. Polito, one of the best schools. We did it with Mr. Conley, one of the best schools. We did it now again with Mrs. Gonzalez, and it's a very difficult thing to do over a course of, 25 years, but somehow we did it. And, to do that, if you look at it, it's like a peak every 8 years. And we've gone, highest level, and a lot of schools just, they stay at level 3, level 4, maybe they jump up to level 3, level 4, and that's the way it's been for 25 years. But we have showed, academic excellence throughout the course of the last 25 years. So I think everybody here deserves a good round of applause. Especially our 3 leaders that are here tonight. So, my act's pretty much through. Anybody else want to come up and say a couple of things? Mr. Ruffle. I thought